Good morning, everyone. We'll make a start now. Thank you for joining on time. Today is the coffee and answers, so hopefully you have a coffee ready for our discussion today. So this is our final meeting with the primary and foundation leadership team. Of course, you can email me anytime to follow up, but our last parent workshop with us as a team for term 2. It's been recorded, so if you feel uncomfortable being recorded, just keep your camera off. Thank you. So as always, we've sectioned this type of workshop into 3 categories: a review, just as reminders, some updates of what is to come, and then the future in terms of future planning, just for you to be aware of the direction that we are going in as a school. So the first one is just a quick review. Some of it is repeated, obviously, over time. That's a useful option for us just to help you as parents, because there's a lot to remember in such a busy and unique school.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm just going to talk you through our leadership team. So we've got Mr. Parry, our head teacher. I'm Miss Darning Sung, the deputy head of the foundation phase. And we also have Kru Shine working in the foundation phase leadership team. Unfortunately, she cannot join the meeting today because she's supporting a reception educational visit. And then we have our primary phase leadership team. So we've got Mr. Parry again, and we've also got Mr. Power, the acting deputy head. Unfortunately, he's not here today because he's on the Year 6 residential. We have Ajon Ratti, crew on, and we also have Ajon Richatra, Kunmeji as well. And then just a few expectations about our parent workshop this morning. We're happy to have open and honest conversations, but please try and be positive and give constructive feedback. And we're wanting to avoid any personal examples. So we're going to avoid referencing any particular teachers or any students. And we can speak in English or in Thai. We do have people here to help with translations. And it's just an opportunity for you to have a fuller picture of this end of the academic year. I've just got some key contacts to share with you as well. So if you are ever wanting to contact Mr. Parry, you can do that through his PA, Kunjoy, and her email address is here and the telephone number. We've also got Kunda Moon, who supports the foundation and primary phase, and she's in this meeting here today to assist with any translations. If your child is going to be absent from school, please do email absent@amnoisin to let us know. And if you ever need to contact the nurse about any medical needs or concerns, please do that using this email address here. We've got some other emails to share with you. If your child is a part of any tutorials or after school clubs, we have a dedicated email address. If you've got any questions about finance, you can see that email here. You can contact the registrar regarding your child's enrollment into the school shop for uniform or resources. And if you've got anything that you want to share about ANS as a school, you can give us your feedback using ans@amnoisin.ac.th. And we welcome any feedback that you have. Thank you.
So parents, having you here again is an opportunity to share with you our vision, global education, local tradition, synthesized down to a slogan, best of both worlds. We very much hope that you believe that you have selected the right school for your child, knowing that they are retaining their Thai heritage, Thai etiquette, Thai history, as well as opening their minds to the global market that is to come for their future employment and future interests. You'll see this type of logo or the shield all around the site and on our literature as well. So you'll see the vision in the center, and then followed by all of our 6 missions in order to achieve that global education, local tradition. And that's broken down into those 6 key areas of we are thinkers, leaders, innovators, to be bilingual, to respect Thai culture as well as all other cultures, and globally aware. All of which our curriculum, our enhanced programs after school, our enrichment for nursery reception year 1, all the Thai cultural events, the shared events with mothers and fathers and the family, all tie in to that mission of in order to give the children a global education, local tradition. As such, as a school, we want our children to be skilled in the values of being mindful, responsible, respectful, and fair. So you'll continuously hear us talk to the children in terms of their behavior and their responsibilities. Are they considering others? Are they being mindful? Are their actions being responsible and respectful? And are they considering a balance between outcomes, so a fair outcome? Are they receiving, in terms of UN rights of a child, adequate access to education, adequate opportunities for play and social, academic performance as well? We very much have those opportunities for the children for student leadership. As you know, some of your children might have already joined that, the Eco Warriors, the Rights Respecting and Student Council, all of which ties in to these 4 key areas of being mindful, responsible, respectful, and fair. All essential values considered to be threaded together. So you can equally say, well, what's the difference between fair and mindful? That's our interpretation, an opportunity for discussion with the children in lesson time and social opportunities outside of the classroom as well as in. We also want our children to be lifelong learners. So learning does not end, in the classroom, or does not end at graduation or when you start your life of work. We still want our children, and as role models as adults, to show an opportunity of being curious, to be proactive, not reactive. We want our children, as well as adults, staff and parents, to be collaborative, being that role model that it's okay to be working by themselves, but greater opportunities of growth in terms of learning can be gained by learning with each other and from each other. We want our children to be communicative, that in terms of clarity, to be bilingual. We want them to be able to communicate their passions as well. So that's not just necessarily based on language, that's also musical communication, dance communication. So that links to a learning style that many children and passions that they have. You know that every child is different, or hopefully you agree that every child is different, stage, not age. And some children's passions or interest is not predominant in academic side. Some have a more inclination towards sport, mathematics, science, technology, dance, languages. So all of that form of communication helps us as a school drive that passion, or help grow that passion for those children. We, of course, want the children and us as adults to show commitment, so know when to give up and then come back. Never give up without consideration. We never want our children to just easily give up and lose interest. Learning is challenging, learning is tough, but we want to skill our children or upskill our children with all of these different dispositions to help them thrive even further. And not the most important, but I would say the culmination of everything that we want our children is ultimately to feel balanced in their education. We know that being stuck in a book 24 hours a day does not help a child grow and does not help a child become unique. It helps them become the same as everyone else and quite robotic, and ultimately affects their self-esteem. We want our children to have a holistic balance of education, multiple interests in different subjects and key areas. Hence why we take our children out on school trips. We invite visitors coming into the school. It is not just open a workbook and hope for the best. It's very much holistic, worldwide education that we want our children to be part of.
And in week 10, so in 2 weeks' time, you'll receive your child's end of year report, and our values and our dispositions will appear within the report when we think about the achievements of your child in terms of their house points. So we share their house points for the end of the year. For nursery to year 1, that will look like this. So we kind of give you an indication of how your child is doing against all of our dispositions. So how balanced they are, collaborative, committed, communicative, curious, and proactive. And within the homeroom comments from the teachers, you'll also get an idea of how they are doing in terms of all of our dispositions, and if there are any areas that they could improve on. For year 2 to year 13, we are using this web, so you can get an idea of where your child's strengths are. So for example, this particular child, they are very committed. They've achieved 21 house points for being committed this year. Whereas perhaps for communicative, where they have 5, that's something that they could really work on and could be a target for them in the new academic year. So you will see this in the report. If you want to find out more about reports, myself and Mr. Power will be leading a parent workshop on Friday, the 3rd of March, so you can find out more. And you're welcome to join us there. Just let us know.
We have a parent with their hand up, someone called Unknown. Would you like to ask a question? Might need to unmute. Okay, we'll move on. Maybe that was an accident.
ครับสำหรับช่องทางการสื่อสารของโรงเรียนเรานะครับเราจะมีช่องทางการสื่อสารอยู่ประมาณ2ช่องทางนะครับไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องของการใช้ Google Classroom นะครับซึ่ง Google Classroom นี้ผู้ปกครองนะครับจะสามารถทราบถึงเรื่องของการบ้านที่คุณครูประจำชั้นนะครับจะโพสต์ใน Google Classroom เพื่อแจ้งให้นักเรียนของทราบว่าในการบ้านของแต่ละสัปดาห์เป็นยังไงบ้างนะครับมีอะไรบ้างหรือสิ่งที่ต้องเตรียมมาเพื่อในการเรียนครั้งต่อไปมีอะไรบ้างนะครับสำหรับอีกช่องทางหนึ่งเราจะใช้เรื่องของ Blogosphere นะครับซึ่ง Blogosphere เนี่ยเราจะใช้ในการแจ้งข้อมูลการเรียนต่างๆกิจกรรมหรือว่าข่าวสารต่างๆให้ท่านผู้ปกครองทราบนะครับผ่านในช่องทางนี้สำหรับ Password และ Username ในการเข้านะครับใช้ของช่องทาง Blogosphere จะเป็นเรื่องของ Password และ Username นะครับเราจะใช้Username นะครับเราจะใช้ Visitor นะครับในการล็อกอินเข้าไปแล้วก็ Password เราจะใช้เป็น Thinking นะครับครับอันนี้จะเป็นนะครับ Username และ Password ที่ผู้ปกครองจะใช้ในการเข้าล็อกอินเข้าใช้ Blogosphere นะครับคือ Visitor แล้วก็ Password จะเป็น Thinking ครับ
Okay, so we've got a range of interventions available at ANS, and these are small group activities that help address areas of misunderstanding or perhaps misconceptions in a particular area of the curriculum. They could be focused on in English language, it could be in Thai language, it could be about maths. It's very much dependent on the child's needs. And the teachers are working together to find out where interventions are best suited. And as we're coming to the end of the year, that's something that we're reflecting on in preparation for our new academic year. If your child is in an intervention, hopefully you are aware of that, and it's something that you might be talking about with with the teachers during parent consultations. They're either one-to-one or in small groups, and they tend to be during the school day. Thai tutorials are done after school, but we want these done during the school day because we want the children to not see this extra support as something as a negative. So it's very much done as a part of the timetable in collaboration between teachers, making sure it's done at the best time so the children can progress in their learning. And we have interventions for academic things. We've got it for behavioral and also social and emotional. And crewment is a big part of some of the support that we provide. So we're very lucky to have a school counsellor on site, and crewment is here to listen, to counsel, and to brainstorm solutions with the children. For the younger children, seeing crewment may be based on observations that we've made of their behavior or their social behaviors. It may be through conversations we've had with parents where we have a similar concern. For the older children in year 5 and year 6, they're able to refer themselves to crewment and come and see her during their break and their lunch. So she might work one-on-one with a child. She may work in a group with some children if it's a social concern. And recently, crewment has been working with Mr. Davies, our Senko, to introduce calm corners into all of our classrooms. And we've seen a really great benefit from that in these last few weeks of the term.
So as you know, parents, I'm the designated safeguard lead for foundation and primary. What that means is I've been trained, similar to Mr. Mandan and our school director, Ajahn Urchit, to a higher level to know how to investigate thoroughly any cause for concerns related to your child's well-being in terms of physical, emotional, and potentially sexual abuse that's taken place. You as parents are aware of this in terms of our focus in keeping our children safe. When we were online, everything was recorded. The children are never permitted to be in the classroom one-to-one. All of our teachers have been trained with regards to safeguarding. with our recruitment of new staff, they are questioned in terms of their background checks as well. So you are knowing that teachers on site are safe. And everything is recorded in terms of outdoors in the corridors. We don't have CCTV in the classrooms because the children are never alone, so there'll always be a witness if something does take place. However, in the corridors and outside on the grass or playgrounds, that's been recorded as well. There is continuous supervision, so we'll give you that assurity, as well as our safeguarding policy that we follow, that everything within the realms of Amnoy Sin confinement is safe. And then for you as parents, know that visitors coming into the site as well pose no threat to your children, because they have to go through that security protocol of sharing their idea, answering the safeguarding questions, and then going through to the visitors that they are actually visiting. No visitors are permitted to wander the site without an escort. So now we come up to the update. So what is coming up? So the remaining weeks of 2.2, we only have 3 final weeks. It's coming to a final end this year. I'm surprised, it's gone so quickly. But we have our residential for the year 6 parents and children this year for week 8. Week 9 next week, we have year reception, and nursery will have their trips and stay and create. Then in our final week, we have Monday as a public holiday, and then leading to Friday, our final school day, and then culminating to the Saturday fun fair, of which you are aware of. And any questions, please email our PTA committee or Ajan Urchit at Amnoisin.
ค่ะแล้วสำหรับชั้นนักเรียนชั้นประถมศึกษาปีที่3ถึงปีที่5นะคะทางโรงเรียนก็จะให้นักเรียนนะคะนำอุปกรณ์ IT มาที่โรงเรียนนะคะซึ่งจะใช้ในการเรียนการสอนที่ต้องมีการสืบค้นข้อมูลทางอินเทอร์เน็ตนะคะทำงานออกแบบเรียนรู้ผ่านแอปพลิเคชันนะคะที่ช่วยให้การเรียนรู้ของนักเรียนเนี่ยดีขึ้นนะคะทั้งงานเดี่ยวและงานกลุ่มซึ่งอุปกรณ์ที่ทางโรงเรียนนะคะได้แนะนำนะคะที่ให้นักเรียนเนี่ยเตรียมมานะคะก็คือจะเป็น Chromebook หรือแล็ปท็อปนะคะส่วน iPad กับแท็บเล็ตเนี่ยก็บางโปรแกรมนะคะอาจจะไม่รองรับหรือไม่สามารถเปิดเข้าร่วมได้นะคะซึ่งขณะนี้นะคะคุณครูนะคะกำลังจะอัปเดตข้อมูลของความคาดหวังของการใช้อุปกรณ์ที่โรงเรียนนะคะของแต่ละระดับชั้นปีนะคะซึ่งเราก็คาดหวังว่าให้นักเรียนเนี่ยได้ฝึกทักษะด้าน Digital Skills นะคะแล้วก็เรื่องของทักษะเรื่องการใช้คอมพิวเตอร์นะคะการเป็นพลเมืองดิจิทัลนะคะฝึกความรับผิดชอบที่สูงขึ้นให้กับนักเรียนนะคะโดยข้อมูลความคาดหวังต่างๆนะคะเราก็จะแจ้งให้ผู้ปกครองทราบในลำดับถัดไปนะคะทั้งนี้นะคะผู้ปกครองชั้นป .2 นะคะหรือ Year 3 นะคะก็จะได้รับจดหมายแจ้งเรื่องของสเปคอุปกรณ์นะคะหรือว่าให้เตรียมความพร้อมนะคะซึ่งอันนี้ก็คือต้องการขอการสนับสนุนจากผู้ปกครองในส่วนนี้นะคะแล้วก็มีการเตรียมความพร้อมในเรื่องของเตรียมอุปกรณ์ให้กับนักเรียนสำหรับนักเรียนที่จะขึ้นมาในชั้นประถมศึกษาปีที่3ค่ะ
So what is to come, parents? So things to be aware of in the coming years and immediate year for next academic. So as you know, ANS is always evolving, hence why there are certain renovations continually happening. We had the new sports hall, we've had the new nursery renovation as well, and that is continuing onwards. So we have, for those parents here who are nursery or have children that would join us for reception next year in May, the renovation would continue. So for those of you who've been here a little bit longer, the current or the previous library space next to the nursery will be the ground floor level for reception. So finally, we'll have our 2 youngest year groups following international standards working on a ground floor with flexible learning space, not confined to a classroom and then time taken to go outside. It is continuous provision, free flow learning. So within the classroom space, you have 3 individual learning zones that can be opened up into one continuous learning area for all 3 classes to intermingle. You have an inside corridor, generally for lunch, and then access in and out to the toilets. And then when you go through the classroom, you have the outside learning space similar to nursery. Then that will go out onto the sports field. You have also coming a almost elevated walkway linking nursery to reception. So in the mornings, those parents here who are currently nursery, you would start in the nursery area because it's slightly larger outside, and at a certain time, the teachers will gather the reception children, walk them over the elevated walkway, safety, keeping them together, and then taking them into the reception area. So it's all still confined. Reception have a unit in which they can learn and cannot leave without permission. The gates are closed and the children can learn in and out as so they choose. So here's just an enlarged version of the actual area. So here you would see the main entrance for parents and teachers would come in. There'd be like a waiting area here with a little kitchenette for staff, toilet for any parents or teachers that would need it. And then we go into the actual learning area, walking through. So on these outside walls, you would have some computers, you would have like a STEM wall, display, Montessori resources, sinks, learning zone area here against the wall, and then another learning zone area against the wall. So it will be a beautiful learning environment, similar to nursery, very modern, new technology being used to support the children's learning. Again, a progression from nursery. Just to share with you our enhanced program, certain things have been confirmed now. So those of you who are in year 1, a survey went out about Mandarin being added into year 2, and that was overwhelmingly a majority wanted Mandarin and agreed to it being added to the program. So starting next year, Mandarin will be added to the 60-40% that we currently have. New for next year, and I've indicated this in previous meetings, year 3 to year 6 will follow a similar model of year 1, year 2 in terms of percentage coverage of the curriculum. So 60% of the UK curriculum, so exposure and more opportunities to their second language, and then 40% to their first language of Thai. That will continue up into year 6, and then going into year 7, they have the options of pathways being continued in bilingual or predominantly international if you want them speaking more English. And of course, when you join primary, year 4, year 5, Mr. Mandan will be adding you to certain parent workshops and opportunities for you to have early information about secondary pathways. Any of you here that do have any questions about options in secondary or preparation towards secondary, Mr. Mandan, the head teacher, welcomes any questions that you might have and would possibly meet with you if you so need to. The changes would continue onward, so not necessarily until 2025, until whenever it is decided. So we're just giving you the first 2 years to come. So next year, a slight change, and then continuation. Just a quick exercise. Some of you who came last time would be familiar with this. As you know, A&S is a through school up to graduation. So we'd have that foundation, primary, secondary, moving towards that ultimate end of a graduation. Destination-wise, that is obviously your choice and your child's choice. We won't force you in terms of every child must go to Oxford or every child must go to Chula. It is obviously towards their passion and towards their interests. As an exercise here, obviously parent voice, could you please add to the chat, what are your expectations for foundation, primary and secondary? For example, more homework should be in foundation or less homework should be given in secondary. More opportunities to a variety of other languages in secondary. Or foundation, more testing or less testing, more opportunities for outdoor play and exploration. If you don't mind, can you just add to the chat, just so then I can add it to my own record so we keep in line with what parent needs are. So it's a good opportunity for you now to share what you would hope school could provide in these key phases of development. It can be Thai or English. It could be related to the curriculum, it could be related to safety, the facilities, outside opportunities, anything that you feel that we should consider more. If you don't feel comfortable in typing it, you can chat as well if you wish to. Thank you. So more labs for science. So we currently do have a science lab for primary that will be renovated in time because it's a little bit dated. And of course, we have labs in secondary as well. So more of a science focus, I can see. Thank you for Mandarin, yes, for year 2. It will take some time for Mandarin to be considered for the lower year groups, but we'll see what the impact is for year 2. But definitely it will be a positive adding Mandarin into foundation. So we've got science and Mandarin. Do you want the school day possibly to be shorter or longer? More after school activities? Options, languages, okay. Thank you. In terms of other languages, would you want more Asian languages or more European languages? So we have that French and Spanish, which is quite common, or other dialects of Chinese, or even Japanese. Okay, so more consideration to the social studies, geography. Thank you. Japanese. Thank you. Make a note of all of these. Books home for review. Okay, so books going home more. Okay, thank you for that. That's interesting. An after school report. Thank you. Parents, out of interest, are you happy with the bilingual model that's currently happening within foundation and primary, or would you want even more English and Thai reduced? Okay, so more English. Okay. That's interesting. Thank you. So obviously we've changed from 50-50 to now 60-40, and that's in light of needs of the school, the development of the children, feedback already gathered from parents. So we'll see how that model works. And of course, in the future, we could explore it being expanded even more. In terms of destination for your child going to university, every family is different, but does the choice of university matter to you? Obviously, by that reputation, it has to be Cambridge, it has to be Oxford, it has to be one of the Ivy Leagues, or as long as your child gains the qualification they need, you're happy. So what type of interest do you have with that university choices? So obviously this can then fed back to secondary. Okay, so university choice is important. Do you have a particular choice of interest? So it has to be medicine, it has to be of the STEM, so science, technology, engineering, maths, or whatever your child is interested in, but top university. So it could be the culinary school, it could be language school, it could be of the languages itself, sport related. Again, this will help secondary model as well. Okay, so equipping our children for local or global university. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, everyone. If you want to continue adding to the chat, or when we have the Q&A later, we can add to it, absolutely fine. Thank you for that feedback. Obviously, that's just considerations, not requests that we will immediately change. So that's a good, well-rounded feedback, so thank you for that. So just to give you some needed update about the upcoming summer camps. I'm sure you've seen these posters all around the school. You've seen them on our social media, but it's an opportunity for me to share with you through another means. We have the Summer Camp 1 camps, which will be predominantly in Thai. So if you just want a Thai language camp during the holidays between the 15th and 24th of March, we have here for our Little Bunnies nursery. So again, they all have a QR code. And these are everywhere around the school. So when you collect your child, you can see it as well. So then we have from reception to year 6, Summer Camp 1, Find Your Passion. So lots of activities for the children to sign up to. And again, it's very different for Summer Camp 1 because you can sign up to any number of activities and that will determine how long you stay in school. So it doesn't have to be whole day. So if you just want to have a morning while you do something and then come and collect your child around lunchtime and then do an afternoon activity with them somewhere else, there is that flexibility for Summer Camp 1. And Summer Camp 1 for those who are in year 6 now, or if you are parents of secondary children already, obviously Mr. Mandan and his team will have more information if you have any questions about the after-school summer camp program. And then we start what we term Summer Camp 2, which will be predominantly in English. So you have Summer Camp 1 in Thai, and then Summer Camp 2 in English, just because the overseas teachers are then back from holidays and available to provide. So here you've got nursery reception year 1, year 2, starting on the 19th of April until the 28th. Words of wonder. So the teachers will be focusing on key authors, international authors, that will give them a focus of any key books, and then obviously a creation that they can make as a product. So for example, an enlarged Gruffalo made out of paper mache covered in key terms from the book itself. So very inquiry-led role play, art, creativity, and design opportunities for those children. Then we have year 3 to year 6 for primary around the world. So we're focusing on that intercultural balance. The children will explore different countries or continents around the world, and then culminate in a world map overview, exploring the world itself in little snapshots over those 8 days. So divided 8, we have 4 countries. Each country or continent, sorry, each continent will be 2 days. So a wide coverage.
ค่ะ อันนี้ก็คือเป็นตารางนะคะในช่วง Summer Camp นะคะ เราจะเรียนสัปดาห์สุดท้ายในเทอม 2.2 นี้นะคะ ก็คือวันสุดท้ายเนี่ยก็คือจะเป็นวันที่ 10 มีนาคมนะคะ แล้ววันเสาร์ที่ 11 มีนาคมนะคะ เราจะร่วมกิจกรรมฟันแฟร์กันในวันเสาร์ที่ 11 นะคะ หลังจากนั้นเนี่ย Summer Camp 1 นะคะ ก็จะเริ่มในวันพุธที่ 15 มีนาคมจนถึงวันที่ 24 มีนาคมนะคะ จากนั้นก็จะเป็น School Break นะคะ แล้วก็ Summer Camp 2 นะคะ ก็จะเริ่มอีกครั้งหนึ่งก็คือในวันพุธที่ 19 เมษายนจนถึงวันที่ 28 เมษายนนะคะ แล้วก็โรงเรียนนะคะ ก็จะเริ่มปีการศึกษาใหม่นะคะ ที่นักเรียนจะเข้ามาที่กลับมาที่โรงเรียนอีกครั้งหนึ่งนะคะ หลังจากเบรกนะคะ ก็คือในวันที่ 9 พฤษภาคมนะคะ จะเป็น Nursery ถึง Year 2 นะคะ แล้วก็วันที่ 10 นะคะพฤษภาคมจะเป็นตั้งแต่ Year 3 จนถึง Year 13 เลยนะคะ Year 13 เลยนะคะ ทีนี้วันที่ก่อนที่นักเรียนจะมาโรงเรียนนะคะ ก็คือจะมีเป็นวันที่ผู้ปกครองนะคะ จะได้พูดคุยกับครูประจำชั้นคนใหม่นะคะ ในปีการศึกษาใหม่ของนักเรียนนะคะ ก็คือเป็นในช่วงต้นเดือนพฤษภาคมค่ะ
Thank you. So parents, any questions that we can hopefully provide you with answers? You can hand up, open the chat, or add to the actual chat box itself. Any questions? Chupapen, hello.
Hi, good morning. For the
Good.
summer camp too, the class will be in English or will be English and Thai?
It will be English, but we will also have some out-class lessons, for example, maybe sport, music, or dance that will be provided by the Thai teachers. But it will be predominantly, majority of the time, in English, so English clubs.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I have a few questions though. For the next year, my son will be in year 3.
Mhm.
So in year 4, he need to bring his own laptop to school. How I prepare him for year 3? Is there any curriculum that will assign to him to do at home to prepare himself ready for year 4?
So in terms of preparation for bring your own device, the children are taught computing and coding as part of the curriculum. So the children will be equipped in order to I'll speak English. They will be equipped in how to use a laptop efficiently and effectively within school. As part of the year 3 curriculum, they will have access to desktops, computer, as well as laptops. So they will be prepared on how to use them safely as well.
Okay. And the last question is, how many hours for Mandarin class in year 3 per week?
So year 3 at the moment, it is 2 split 1 half. Yeah, so currently it is for the children, it will be 2 lessons. So we are reviewing that. So it might necessarily move to 3 starting next year. So we have to look at the timetables in order for workload for the teachers. But currently it is 2 periods that they would receive.
Okay. My son already passed the HSK1.
Fantastic.
So so how he will separate from his friend, or how you arrange the class for him for Mandarin?
So Mr. Juan Dexter, he is the lead Mandarin teacher, and as part of his leadership role, he has actually presented to SALT, so Mr. Pine, Mr. Mandan, and myself, about introducing the HSK models, so it becomes a little bit more aligned internationally with any other school doing Mandarin. And those children who are ready could sit HSK examinations by option of parents as well. Because your child has achieved that level, as long as Mr. Juan has that information, he can differentiate and support within the lesson. So similar to any other types of lesson, we wouldn't approach it as every child receiving exactly the same thing, and we hope outcome is different. The teacher will model different questions opportunities, different challenge opportunities within the classroom.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anyone else? The person who's down as unknown, do you still have a question? Anyone else? Thai or English? Okay, so thank you very much, parents. If you do have any questions that maybe you don't want to ask in this forum, please email me and I'd be happy to address any concerns that you do have. Have a wonderful, 3 weeks coming up. Summer Camp 1 if you do join us, or extended holiday. And I do look forward, if I don't actually see you before the end, have a wonderful holiday and I look forward to seeing you in 2023 academic year. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for your time today. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.